Hello, Singaporeans. Do you know this is happening in Singapore? It is very worrying that many elderly are turning to suicide as the only choice to end their pain and struggles when they should be enjoying their golden years. There was an article in the Straits Times in 2018. It reported the number of suicides committed by the elderly hits record high as Singapore population ages. Even today, this problem is still not getting better. So, what can we do to prevent this? I believe suicide is preventable. Most importantly, suicidal people do not want to die. They want to live so desperately, but they can't seem to find a way though. They feel like they have exhausted all their options and the pain they are experiencing is well beyond them. With the elderly population in Singapore increasing steadily, suicides in this population may be expected to continue rising, and this is very worrying. Let me share my views from my observation. I feel most elderly people may not know who to turn to for help or how to do so, either out of ignorance or reluctance, and especially for those who are aged and sick and have little or no family or dependents help and are socially isolated. Most will not want to be a burden to others or will not have the means to look after themselves in their healthcare needs. I also think the changes in family patterns could be a contributing factor to the rise in elder suicide numbers. For most older people, families are their closest ties and where they first turn to for help. And the family size is getting smaller and the number of elders living alone or with an elderly spouse is going up. And also, most adult children also live busy lives and may not be able to give as much attention to parents as the elderly need or expect. Elder isolation is something we need to address in order to tackle elder suicide. We must understand living with another person does not necessarily mean one does not become lonely or isolated. Interaction and emotional support are key. The role of the community and the elderly's social support group is very important. Are we doing enough? And as the ruling government, is PAP doing enough to help? I would love to hear your thoughts. I will suggest we need to train more volunteers who befriend the elderly to recognize signs of depression and suicide risk and to establish channels to flag people at risk to professionals. Also, primary care doctors play an important role, including social workers and counselors of elder care services, should make it a point to look out for signs of emotional wellness and distress and to use the standard assessment skills to identify risks and activate safety plans. Suicide is like an extreme situation where people want to put an end to their continuous pain and feelings of overwhelming helplessness. I believe if steps were taken early to manage seemingly insurmountable feelings and problems, suicide may not occur. Lastly, if you or someone you know is having suicidal thoughts or in emotional distress, please do not hesitate to call SOS 24 hours hotline 1-800-221-4444. Yes, this is a 24 hours hotline. I hope it helps. I would love to hear your thoughts after all I have said. Just remember, we will be old one day. I am Ben Puah from Red Dot United. Thank you.